We're all done with the different ways of removing records out of a Mongo collection, which means we get to go on to our final method, which is updating records that have already been saved. So this is where the vast majority of complication with Mongoose is going to come in. So I'm just going to throw it out there right now. This is where we're going to start to learn a lot of what's going on with Mongoose and MongoDB. We're going to start off with the same functionality or same methodology as how we tackled deleting a user. So we're going to first look at the different ways of updating a user, and then we're going to start walking through all the different implementations. So the model instance methods for updating a record are pretty reasonable, all right? Like they're pretty digestible. But as soon as we start getting into the class-based methods, that's where stuff starts to get a little bit more interesting. So we're going to start off with the easy stuff, and then we'll move on to the little bit more complicated, in-depth stuff. Okay, so updates with model instances versus a model class. We have 5 different ways instead of 4 that we saw with removing. So clearly, like definitely a lot of different ways to do the same kind of thing inside of Mongo. Like without a doubt, I definitely feel like you're hopefully getting that impression right now already. With a model instance, we can either call update and pass in the update that we want to apply to a record, or we can do what I call the set and save method. So these are 2 separate functions, set and save, that we'll use to update a record as well. So let's first walk through these 2 model instance methods of updating a record, and then we'll figure out exactly what is so complicated about these updating. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start off by creating a new test file inside of my test directory. So I'll make a new file, and I'm going to call this one update test.js. And then inside of here, we're going to have a lot of the same exact boilerplate as before. We'll import or require some stuff at the top. We'll put down our describe block and then define our before each. So I'll start off with my assert. We'll then pull in our user model. So we'll require source user. Then we'll describe updating records, and we'll pass a function into that. We'll again need to declare a user ahead of time, who we're going to call Joe, and then create him and save him inside of a before each function. So at the start of every single test, we'll have a nice brand new fresh user to work with. So we'll say let Joe, and then inside of a before each, and we'll make sure that because we are going to save a record or touch Mongo in some fashion, we're going to receive the done callback inside of here. Then we'll make our new user with the name of Joe, and then we'll save Joe. So joe.save. And then after Joe is successfully saved, we'll call our done callback. Okay, so there's our boilerplate. Let's get started immediately on our first method, which will be calling a model instance update function. So we'll give this just a very clear and direct name inside of all of the it blocks that we're going to write. I'll say it instance set and save. So by that I mean an instance model type we're going to call set and save. Maybe we can do a better description than this. Maybe we'll say exactly what I just said. So instance type using set and save. Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay, so let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and figure out how to use this set and save methodology for updating a record.